Hey guys, Frank Gallo, your favorite contract corporate pilot, coming to you today with another video. Today we're going to talk about technique, a certain technique that is used during a certain phase of flight. But before I get to that, I need you to go over there and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. It'll remind you each and every time there's a new video. And please leave a respectful comment, be it positive or negative. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Okay, so what is that technique? That technique is dealing with a crosswind when you're landing, whether it's a very strong crosswind, whether it's a gusty crosswind, or a minor crosswind. So the fundamentals are the same, but everyone has a slightly different technique. And we're going to go over that one landing at a time. Okay, now first, let's take a look at this animation that I found on the internet. So you can see in this animation, the wind is coming from the right, and the pilot is keeping that upwind wing down, but he's staying somewhat into the crab. Because he's controlling the drift, he wants to stay on the center line of the runway. And the important thing here is, as you approach the runway, as you get lower and lower and closer to the surface, you want to start to straighten out the nose and keep that upwind wing down. Therefore, you are going to get the upwind tire to touch the runway first. The aileron input in the whole time, depending on the strength of the wind, is how much aileron you'll have to put in, and then letting the downwind side tire touch down, followed by the nose. As you're slowing down, you want to keep putting in more and more aileron deflection because the plane is getting slower and slower. There's less friction over the top of the wing, over the control surfaces. So you want to keep that aileron into the wind and keep the nose straight down the runway, even throughout the taxi down the runway. Okay, so now let's take a look at some real life situations. Now this guy is having a really hard time. It's really windy out there. He's trying to control that center line, but he just took out that, see, once he took out the aileron, he started to drift off to the right, and he's making the best decision any pilot can make, and that is to go around. But he needs to try to get back over the center line of the runway, and he does. And here he comes in for a second try. This time, he's controlling that drift. But you see, he just got hit with a little wind shear there. He comes down. He's trying to stay on that center line. He gets that left wing down first, followed by the right. Not bad. Safe landing. He walked away from it. This is a takeoff out of Boca Raton. Actually, this is the old airplane I used to fly. And that's in a crosswind. You can see how it crabs into the crosswind, but he's still staying over the center line. Nicely done. And here's another landing. Okay, you see the wind is coming from the right, you can tell. He's trying to get that right wheel down. He's trying to get it down, and he does. Very nicely done also. And here's one more. Let's see how this guy does. Hard to tell where the wind is coming from because of the angle. But he got that right wheel down first, so it must have been coming from the right side. Very nice touchdown. Now, this one is from the inside. I wanted you guys to see what it looks like from the inside. It looks to me like the wind is coming off the right side. It's a pretty long, extended displaced threshold there. And you see how the nose is pointing into the wind. It's weather vaning into the wind, so we know the wind is coming from the right side. He's going to start to straighten out the nose just at about maybe 10 feet off the ground. And he'll start dipping that right wing down. You can actually see it from the cockpit view. He's going to touch that right side down first. Very nicely done. Right inside the box. Beautiful. And that is the technique, folks, for crosswinds, and that's how it's done. You saw a good example of what it's like to land in a crosswind. Now, some things that you need to understand. If you are flying in gusting conditions, you need to adjust your speed to what's called half the gust factor. Now, let's say, for example, the wind is coming in at gusting. It's constant, it's 18, and it's gusting to 30 knots. What we do is that we subtract the 18 from 30, and that's 12, and we divide that by 2, so that's 6. So you would add 6 knots to your final approach speed, something to keep in mind. And if you feel wind shear at any time, go around. Do not land with wind shear. Go around, choose another airport, or wait for it to subside. And well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video on how to deal with crosswind landings. Now, before you leave, please, I need you to hit that like button, the subscribe button, the bell. It'll remind you each and every time there's a new video. And as I always ask you, please leave a respectful comment, whether it's positive or negative. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Now, last but not least, if you're thinking of getting a pet, please don't buy, don't go to a breeder, adopt, rescue. There are so many beautiful special animals in the shelters and in the pounds that are just waiting to be rescued. Some of them are there for more than a year. Some of them are there for many years. They have every breed, every size, every age. There's nothing like the love of a rescued dog. They know, believe me, they know. I've been there before. You'll never feel anything so special in your life. Guys, thank you. Your favorite contract corporate pilot, Frank Gallo, signing off.